All right. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see if this stream is working. Hope everybody had a great weekend. We have a lot of data coming out this week. Yeah. All right. We're live on X. Let me go check the YouTube channel, make sure the stream is working over there. Yeah. All right. We're live on X and YouTube. Sweet. All right. Let me get the link posted in Discord. If you are on X right now, if you could please like and repost the stream, I would greatly appreciate it. Let people know we are starting. Need some coffee. And welcome to the first episode of the Pre-Bell Breakdown, the pre-market show. Been wanting to do something like this for a while, just never really had the time or the setup to do it, honestly. And I usually do the Sunday night live streams, which I'm still going to do as well. I didn't do it last night just because we were at a concert. I didn't get home till about 1:30 in the morning, so running on about 5.5 hours of sleep right now. All right, link is posted. Appreciate everybody here on X that is liking and reposting the stream for me. Fantastic. Now, first and foremost, let me pull up the economic calendar because I believe we have some important data coming out here soon. Let me get the chart over here. I mean, SPY is in the middle of the range from previous session, so nothing really too significant right now just on SPY. But so today, luckily, what's today? The 8th. Nothing crazy on the economic calendar for today and tomorrow. Starting Wednesday, though, we have some big data coming in. So starting on Wednesday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, pre-market, we will have producer price index, core PPI, PPI year over year, core PPI year over year, and then wholesale inventories later on at 10 a.m. Eastern. Thursday, we will then have CPI. So the big thing, Wednesday we have PPI, and then Thursday we will have CPI along with initial jobless claims, all of those coming at 8:30 a.m. And then we have at 2 p.m. that day, monthly U.S. federal budget, and then Friday at 10 a.m. we will have consumer sentiment. So the big one, the big two, it looks like, is Wednesday and Thursday for the data. So Restream and OBS do not connect to Discord. Unfortunately. So let's go ahead and jump into it here. So we are sitting, so there's a small gap to fill here on SPY. So overnight session on SPY, we have a gap to fill down to 646. So I would like to see if we do end up going lower down here to the 646. You have volume point of control right there as well at 646 on SPY. Would love to see that gap to get filled and then see buyers step in that area and then defend it. As of right now, I mean, there's a few zones on SPY to be watching, but I mean, currently where we're at, nothing too crazy. You have this zone here. You have this zone here. obviously you're going to be watching if it loses that zone right here to come down and fill the gap right here. And then you have, Jesus, my son is pissed right now. And then you have the other zone right here. So you have your resistance on SPY, the zone up here for the supply, the resistance zone around 651 to 652.2. This little mid zone right here that SPY is opening up just around 648. And then underneath 648, you start to get some downside movement here. Candle closes underneath that. You do have the gap to fill down closer to the 646 right there at that volume point of control. Underneath 646, you're going to have previous day low. Lux Algo goes ahead and marks that right here for you. It's going to be around 643.3. So those are the main things to be watching right here on SPY chart for the day. So this is going to be from 643 up to 652, just about $9. SPY again in the middle of the range, small gap fill below, and potential big support if that 646 does hit and buyers do step in that area. Two other things I do want to cover real quick as well. Let's go check out our friend Hoodie, the Robinhood. So, news came out on Friday. You'll see right here, just after 5 p.m. Hood got a nice 7 to 8% ripper candle. It is currently sitting at 109.57. Fortunate for me, I swung Hood 105 calls in the Discord. So Hood is opening up so far up near that 110 area, which is absolutely beautiful. These 105s are going to be in the money. Hopefully I'm going to be up a couple 100% and lock in some gains to go ahead and start the week very, very nicely, and then sit back and let the kind of dust settle across the board, and then we'll see what things set up afterwards. But that got included into the S&P 500 along with APP, AppLovin. Oh, my 540 calls just went in the money a little bit ago. They went in the money right up here at 8:05. So about, 45 minutes ago, give or take a few. So I also swung APP 540 calls along with the Hood 105s. My boy Casey trades in Jurassic Park back there. I don't understand why whenever I use OBS through Restream, it does not use the noise suppression or the voice isolation. I have absolutely no idea why, because I have it turned on, but I can just never get it to freaking work. I swear to God. So I got to figure that part out eventually. Maybe it's because I'm cheap and I'm not using the Restream Premium, but even in the free version, if you go through Chrome, it lets you click the little buttons to toggle it on and off, and I got background for echo and noise suppression. I got everything freaking turned on to get that shit out of here, but I swear it never works. Sometimes my AirPods do that too whenever I'm using that. The man is a legend, kept his composure and just talk about the market trading. Yeah, I mean, I'm accustomed to it, I suppose, hearing all the craziness in the background. So, very happy with where Hood and APP are going to be opening up at. I am going to be taking some profit on these call swings if they continue to hold up here. One other thing I want to go ahead and look at as well is Tesla. Absolutely loving Tesla right now. So Tesla, everyone's been watching the same thing on Tesla, right? So for me, it was a buy on Tesla down here. It got the break base and then lift off, and now it is just putting in higher lows. It is just putting in higher lows, and you're just gonna see all these upper wicks up here right now on Tesla. So Tesla is kind of fighting this little triangle that's right here, right? So, I mean, if we can really start to see Tesla, in my opinion, what I'm targeting for Tesla is 370. I'm looking for Tesla to go long night, look tired, my G. Yeah, very. Yeah, I didn't go to Matt. I didn't go to sleep till about 2 a.m. and then up at 7. So we had a fun night at the concert last night. So didn't get to do my Sunday night live stream, obviously, but I got coffee right here, Matt. Don't worry. I'll be ready in the premium Discord, ready to freaking go with a bunch of energy in about 30 minutes once I put down this coffee here. So I'm looking for Tesla to get this move up here to the 370 area. I think once you start to see some daily or weekly moves that are closing above that 370 area, I think it's going to be very big for Tesla. So it is currently in a squeeze right here. You'll see the two little red dots right now. It is currently in a squeeze. So the squeeze indicator has these bars moving to the downside at the same time that that is happening. Here on the MACD, MACD is positive. So it almost flipped bearish right here. And now the MACD is still holding positive and moving to the upside. RSI is above 50 right now, which is good. It's above the neutral level. You know, you got 30, 50, and 70 for oversold and overbought. So it's still holding above that. So for what I am predicting for Tesla is during this area of consolidation right here and this squeeze that's building. So, you know, consolidation leads to expansion, right? And that's what we're waiting here on Tesla in this higher time frame consolidation. So even though as of right now, it is slowly starting to come down, it's still positive and it has not flipped bearish. Like the bars are not red. It's just moving down from the light blue to the dark blue. But if you look back right here, there's times where when Tesla starts to move from the dark blue, it never flips bearish and then it pushes back up and goes light blue again. So you can have something similar here on Tesla while it's building the squeeze. If everything is still going positive, these blue bars can start to come back down a little bit, just consolidate, go sideways, never actually flip red, start to push back up after going more to a neutral level and everything's still holding positive. And then during that time, if it's still in that higher compression squeeze right here, it starts to move to the upside, that squeeze will curl up and then fire to the upside. That would be perfect case scenario right here for Tesla. So personally, I'm looking for Tesla to still hold these higher lows that are right here, but I'm looking for that break in base that's going to put it above that, near that 365, 370 area. I think once we start to see those daily and weekly candle closes above that, Tesla can start pushing that move and get back up here near that that 400-ish area level. So I'm going to be watching that. What other names outside of like Hood? Oh my goodness, I didn't realize APP was up freaking 10%. I actually got to go alert that right now in the Discord, in the channel. Where is it at? Where's the channel? There it is. All right, so APP 540 calls in the money. Again, for the people that are in the premium Discord, I am going to be taking profits on both those positions at the open if they are green. And that's going to be a fun way to start the morning. Another one, real quick, talked about it last week. Caught a really good move on this name. Look, it's already right up here on the chart. It's beautiful. So I talked about it on X for a little bit and then took some calls within the premium Discord. I took MU 130 calls, which went 125%, and they are in the money. I rolled some of the profits from the 130s into the 135s. So you have a beautiful little rounded bottom right here. Potential little cup and handle action, but right off the weekly 21 EMA, and then very, very strong bullish engulfing weekly candle that closed on Friday. Absolutely fantastic. Just having that resistance up near that 130 area. So it took the calls down here, started to push to the upside, looked fantastic, and target obviously being at that resistance of 130, and it put those calls in the money. So looking for continuation and a move up here on MU above 130 would absolutely be fantastic. So going to target around this area up here on MU, which is going to put it around 135, 136. So MU this morning, right there, just actually back tested the level right here, almost to the penny. I have 129.84 just underneath that 130, and where the zone is right here. So I had a nice run into the close. It just back tested and it held. The roll that I have for these 135 is just risking some of the profits from the 130s. If it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, then it comes back and it'll just be risking some of the profits that I had from the previous trade. So hopefully it keeps on going, just using profits to make even more profits for this trade. But if it pulls back and then I close them out, just gave a little bit of those profits back. But really, really love this chart. Another one was HIMS. HIMS was absolutely beautiful of a swing trade. Right here, took the calls down here in this zone on HIMS. Had a huge ripper to the upside. The 45s went in the money and then kept on pushing. And now had a little bit of a gap up overnight from 48 to about $49. Would love for it to go hit that $50 psych level, but HIMS is another one on the larger time frame here. You'll see right there where that zone is. That was just on that 5-minute chart. Here it is on the daily. And that little purple squiggly line is the daily 200. And you'll see just previous price action shows that this was a big area of support. Look at the reactions that happened over here. Same reaction that's right here, right? And then another test right over here. And it got the big reaction right after that. So would love to see HIMS pop up. Looks like there's a gap to fill to 49.57. Did it already? Yeah, I think it already filled that gap. Got close, actually. Missed it by a few pennies, it looks like. So technically there is still a little bit of a gap to right up here. But you're going to have resistance from that gap fill all the way up near this like 50.4 area. So there it is. It almost got up to the gap. So let me see what we have as well on here. SoundHound, that was something that I sent out as well on Friday. My am in call swings on SoundHound, ticker SOUN. So there was some good flow coming in on the $15 calls. So those are the ones that I did take. SoundHound is at $14.50 right now. So got an alert set right here around 13.43, and you'll see that it absolutely ripped straight through this and got a nice move up into the close. And the calls that I mentioned on X, and then I took them within the premium Discord as well. They were green there going into the close, and it's still holding up very nicely right here. So SoundHound looking absolutely amazing here on the daily. Very, very strong candle. Just has some resistance as it gets up closer to this $15 area. Could be an area where it consolidates sideways, but I really, really love this weekly right now. I think this weekly chart is a very, very strong chart right here. So would love to see this nice little rounded bottom right here push up a little bit higher. It can go up to the $15, $16 area, start to consolidate, and if it does and it starts to pull back down to this trend line going back underneath $14, it could create a weekly to monthly potentially cup and handle right here. So obviously you'll see it's got this area of resistance just right up here. So that's kind of what I'm targeting for the move from right here. So took the calls here, looking for the move up to here. So that area is going to start around 15.7-ish, give or take. So I'm in the 15, so hopefully they'll go in the money. And then as it pushes up higher to 16, get a nice push on those premiums. So Would love to see some continuation here on Soundhound. There we go. To get right up into this zone right up here. So in calls here on Soundhound, would love to see, you'll right here, I mean, it's just beautiful SR flips. This area of previous support right here where a lot of big reactions were happening, and then you draw that area over, boom, and then it got flipped to resistance right over here. Break and base, huge launch off of it, and then you'll see it rejected right, whoopsies, it rejected right up here, came back, just got the ripper straight through it. So looking to see if we can get a little bit more continuation to the upside here on Soundhound. Someone say, Casey, you turn up the mic? Absolutely. I have it turned down just a little bit because you'll be able to hear the freaking babies out there raising hell. So I'm also not like speaking very loudly either because this is a decent sized room and I don't have curtains in here, just blinds right now. I'm probably not going to put curtains in here so it echoes a little bit until I go through all my mic settings. Danny said, can you look at CRM? Absolutely, we can look at CRM. I've got a few more minutes here. We're going to look at QQQ and IWM as well right before I jump off. It's in a squeeze on the weekly. Okay, so there's a SR flip zone right here. That's on CRM. Holding as of right now. Weekly squeeze was downside. Indicators are still red. And as expected, if you look at the chart right here, one thing I would say is I feel like this is probably going to be very important to watch. Daily, getting a nice green hammer candle right off that area of support. Yeah, I would watch, and then right there, you see this spot right here on CRM. Once it breaks above this spot right up here, I think that can be a good sign. It's going to be around 258.6 to 260 psych level. I can probably put 260 on here. Put a little even number. That's right there. So you start to get a break in base above this 260 area. I think that can be very good for CRM. It really had a nice candle close on Thursday, coming back down into that zone, and then it closed around 243. I think that would have been great for a call swing, actually looking at the chart, and then it got a $7 to $8 move to the upside back above the daily 9 and 21 EMA just briefly there. Drop it down to a 30-minute, and then you'll see it right there. Nice little tweezer bottom, and then on Thursday, nice push up, consolidation, huge move up on Friday, consolidation, and now we are coming back to this area right here. So you'll see there's a little bit of hesitation right here around 251. So if it can break above 251, go for 253 area, start to enter back up into this zone right up here. But for the larger time frame for upside, I think it would have to break that structure in the larger time frame, which is going to need it to put it back above 260. If it comes back, if it rejects this area, comes back down to the zone around 240, I would look to see if it plays back down to the downside to about 227, 230 area. So those would be the main two things that I'd be watching right there. Soundproof studio. Yeah, we're gonna try to get it as soundproof as possible. Google, I mean, just long Google. I mean, there's no really other play for Google except to just continue to be long until it says no longer to be long. I mean, you can look at this 1 and 4 hour chart right here. I mean, it looks like a rising wedge. And that's the only thing that I would say to watch on it. See a break structure of that. Other than that, I mean, they're just buying these freaking dips on the Googles. So, I mean, higher highs and higher lows. But I mean, I'm not even sure if that's a rising wedge. Just could just be a just a channel that it's in. I mean, it's just absolutely looking gorgeous inside this channel right now of higher highs, higher lows. So for Google, I mean, for a downside, if you're looking for it to be a little bit overextended and then to pull back down, I'd probably say around 230. If it starts to break this structure here, it's probably going to line up with this little SR flip spot. That's right there around 232.4. If it breaks that and that trend line right there, I think you can get the move down to 230. But as of right now, I mean, comes down to right here. I would expect buyers to step in and still hold that thing up and then push it back up and make that higher high. But I'll say if it does come down and it breaks underneath of it and they do a back test for the rejection, then that's where I'll be looking for sellers to see if they step in and start to push it back down. If they do, be looking to take puts there and then take it down to that 230 area and then get an entry there for the potential short when it breaks and closes and then starts to reject it right there. But the initial reaction, I would look to see if buyers step in, continue to hold that stronger chart that is here on Google. QQQ, see what it looks like compared to SPY. Very similar, looks a little bit stronger. SPY is more within the range. You take the high, you take the low. SPY is almost at the 618, so the 50% retracement puts it around, 647.75, 648 cycle level. Q's looks like it's well above that. I say well above it, but let's see. Yeah, so Q's actually just did a back test of the 618 from previous day's range, and now it's back up to the 70% retracement right up here. So Q's a little bit stronger, still again within the range from previous price action. So I mean, the hourly chart still looking good, still holding EMAs right here, but there is a gap up. So if you do start to break down a little bit, you do have that gap to fill below. But I'll tell you right now, pre-market's looking good. Pre-market is looking strong so far on SPY and QQQ and a few other names. So for Qs, I mean, you're going to have this resistance around 578.6. If it can break above that, see if you can get that move up to 579.3, 580 cycle level, and all those previous highs. You'll see all these upper wicks on these red candles. This is where the sellers are kind of at right now, which is going to be around 580.6 up to 581. And then you'll see you have this little sell spot that was right here on Qs. You drag that over, and now it was an SR flip, and that's where the buyers are sitting at. And that's where that giant hammer candle came in right there. So make sure you have this zone on right here. Make sure you have this zone in right here on Qs. And then make sure you have that upper zone right there on QQQ. So those right here are the three zones. Again, I'd be watching on QQQ. Goes down near 571 to 572. You have that gap fill right here, just around 575, 576. And then up here near the top, just above that 580 to 581. Those are the three spots I'd be watching on QQQ. So kind of use this as like your gap fill area if it starts to lose this intraday as your midpoint from the previous session range, and then have your support zone demand down here, have your resistance, your supply zone right up there at the top. IWM, different story. I mean, IWM looks absolutely gorgeous right now. I do like hitting it with a little bit of a trend line right here off these lows, just having this on the chart. I mean, looking very, very, very strong here on IWM. So this is what I would be watching on IWM going into the day. You have this higher low trend line just beneath you. You have a big zone right around right here. SR flip, beautiful. I mean, it's clear as day. I mean, this is beautiful. Look, here, big knife candle below it, consolidation in here, and then drops underneath. Right, that's SR flip. Support got flipped to resistance. It back tested right here at resistance. Right. They break through it, close above it, finally up here, gets the big move up here, crazy volatility, goes up to the next resistance area, comes straight back down to it, boom, and an instant buy up right off that thing, right? So this is gonna put that around 235, 235.6. You have your mid zone around 237 to 238. Your resistance is gonna be near that 240 area. So those would be the 3 zones here on IWM that I would be watching. So SPY, QQQ, IWM, Hood, APP, Tesla, CRM. What else did we cover? Google looking great. SoundHound I think looks great. And then all the data that we talked about right before we started as well. Big ones again being Wednesday and Thursday for CPI and PPI. So that's it for me, guys. Just a quick little rundown on where the market is this morning and the main things that I'm looking at going into today, and then a few things again that MU as well, and a few things that I took and I'm currently in for some swing positions that we'll be managing here near the open. So I appreciate everyone that tuned in. We got almost 2,000 people we're at 30 minutes, perfect timing. About 2,000 people that tuned in to the first episode of this little pre-bell breakdown. Kind of short, sweet, to the point, not trying to make it not trying to overcomplicate anything or go too far in depth or rant on anything. Just mainly talking about, the economic calendar data that we're expecting to come out this week, and then looking at some of the strongest names that are in there, doing just a little bit of a quick recap, sharing of the trades that I'm currently in and on some of these charts, and then looking at the intraday levels right here on SPY, QQQ, and IWM, the ones that I have marked that I'm planning to trade today, intraday based off of these areas, these zones of support and resistance. So hopefully this little breakdown helps a few people out there, but that is it for me for first little episode of a pre-bell breakdown. So again, I appreciate just about 2,000 people who tuned into this. If you are here on the X stream, please do give it a like and a repost. I would greatly appreciate it. It is recorded, as always, to my X account and onto the YouTube channel where we're streaming at. I appreciate the people over there on the YouTube side. I'm going to be doing a lot more educational videos on the YouTube channel. And then again, I'm doing the pre-bell breakdowns every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, unless something crazy happens or if I get tied up with something. But looking to do them Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I believe Friday, the pre-bell breakdown, I'm actually going to try to maybe incorporate that into a live streaming session with Wolf Trading, the Wolf crew here on X. We're doing a big live stream. So we're not doing a spaces on Friday like we usually do on X. We're actually going to go meet somewhere, whatever it is, however we're doing it with Restream OBS, and then all of us that are on X Spaces, for the voice trading for Spaces and everything, we're actually going to do a video stream just like this and stream it to, I believe, X and YouTube. So you guys will not only just hear our voices on Friday talking about the charts on X Spaces, but it's going to be a live stream displayed onto YouTube and X, I believe, as well. So you're actually going to see all of us, myself, Jordan, Mabel, Knots, I believe just the entire and main Spaces crew that's usually in there day in, day out. So stay tuned for that for Friday. But again, just going to be continuing to do this pre-bell breakdown when I can on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, just to share some thoughts on the market and where I'm sitting at currently, where I'm positioned, and then looking at the main three, SPY, Qs, and IWM for trading intraday. So I appreciate everybody. Let's have a great trading day. It looks like Hood is sitting up right at 110. and APP's right underneath 540. So both these positions, just about in the money going into the day. Looks absolutely fantastic. I'm going to be taking profits on those positions. Appreciate you, Danny. Appreciate you guys. So for the premium Discord team, I'm going to close the stream right here live on X and YouTube, and I will swing it over to the premium Discord for live trading. And that's where I will be at for the day, managing all of my stuff and live streaming and trading over there with the squad. Appreciate you guys. So everyone else, have a great trading day. I will be on X Spaces this week when I can, as well, just a speaker. But I'll be live trading, obviously, in the Discord every single day. And then I will be back for episode 2 on